Good afternoon and warm welcome after the lunch. I took a risk to keep my presentation after lunch because I thought it's better to not keep it before lunch because already sessions were running late. So hopefully we'll get some attention post lunch on this session. So how many of you have heard about Kinaxis before I start? Raise of hands. Anyone knows about Kinaxis? Few people. So I'm not going to talk about Kinaxis. That's why I wanted to ask. If you want to know more about Kinaxis, we have a booth outside. So you can talk about that because the purpose of me giving this presentation to you today is talk about challenges in pharma, what we have learned from our customers. So there will be no solution talk as such in this session because we can do it one-on-one, or maybe if you invite us in your organization, we can do that then. So supply chain, heard this word many times in morning. I think in each of the panel discussion, in each of the technology presentation, this word was there. But supply chain is no stranger from disruptions. Disruptions have been happening in supply chains since ages, but it came in more into the forefront after the COVID activity that we have. It came into the normal vocabulary of every person. In fact, thanks to that awareness, my parents know now what I do. Otherwise, it was very difficult to make them explain that what actually I was into. So now my simple answer is that I help people make their supply chain better, organizations make their supply chain better. So, it is not ending, like, so one disruption ends, other begins, and it is going to keep happen. In fact, if you read any reports by consulting firms or any media reports, you will see that it will continue to get disrupted. Now, why we are talking about that? Because COVID is over and we know it is going to get disrupted. But what has happened because of that is, and I've seen that in Indian market, I've been working in Indian market for close to 2 decades now, and I've seen it transformed in these last 2-3 years. There has been a paradigm shift because earlier when we used to go to meet prospects, companies, large companies, small companies, everyone used to say that, can you make my forecasting accuracy better? Can you help me predict more accurately? Everybody used to say that, but they still say that, but now it comes with a caveat. Okay, I know everything can't be predicted. So how can I respond, or how can I respond fast to whatever that can't be predicted? So I think that is a paradigm change, and it is good for us because we now realize that not everything can be predicted. So that's what the best supply chain, the companies who have the best supply chains in the globe are moving towards, which is about how to respond to these disruptions rather than trying to predict the next black swan or a global disrupting event. It's very difficult to do that. So what has happened, if you see the current state of supply chain is, as I said, that general public has become increasingly aware. You of course are all professionals, so you know about it. But even the general public knows that there is a problem of supply chain. Small decision by government, you will see sudden impact of supply chain. Like there was a news that came some time back that laptops will be made in India only going forward, and they are giving a 6-month notice. Then government actually went back and made it a little ambiguous, so there was no chaos. So small news that happens somewhere will have impact on supply chain, and it will disrupt that particular supply chain or a general public altogether. It has become a topic of board level discussions. If you talk to your supply chain colleagues in your organization, they will say that there is a more accountability, more scrutiny, more delegation they are having in the decision making. And of course, they have to balance it with ESG, which is becoming a big word these days. If you haven't seen the Apple presentation of ESG, it was really good. They presented the ESG report in a very understandable way. So I'm sure that because of the government regulation, because of your own brand, the companies will move towards being more sustainable, more environmental friendly, and pharma is not untouched by that. So the focus is not on just predicting and saving the cost. It becomes into how resilient you are as a company, and that can make or break a company in these days. And these are statements from some of our customers that our weakness of supply chain lies in capacity planning. We need help on supply planning. So basically, from the overarching statement that we heard, we are coming down to what we are hearing, especially from the pharma companies. So we have hidden the names, but you can guess. One of these statements is from Becton Dickinson, one is from someone else, and these are all global companies which are facing challenges. And I'm sure the India is not much difference. They are also facing the challenges because to fight this battle, many companies are using Excel as a solution today, because we can modify, we can do kind of tweaking that is necessary to do that. But kind of complexities, kind of humongous amount of data that is there today, it is now impossible to maintain that. So we have done some work with these companies, and we also follow Gartner very closely. So recently there was this Logi Pharma Summit which happens in various continents. So this is from the Europe Summit, and there Gartner presented actually a point of view around what are the capabilities that a good solution should have for a pharmaceutical company, right? So you will hear a lot of companies talk about supply chain optimization and machine learning and forecasting. But actually in supply chain, you need to be very accurate, because when you do machine learning, when you do, use algorithms, there is a degree of inaccuracy that is there. So what Gartner tells about, there are certain inherent capabilities that solutions should have. So like shelf life planning, which is very important for pharmaceutical companies, because if you are shipping the medicines or tablets or any SKUs, if you are not able to do a proper shelf life planning, then you are risking your inventory in a big way. Obsolescence, as well as there could be a recall also if you are not able to ship. Recently, there was a large company in India which has to face recalls because they were not able to regulate one of the plants. So these kind of things also make or break the brands. Some other capabilities that customer talks about, and this is not about the technicalities of the solutions that we offer, but basically some of the capabilities that life sciences need, which are out of the box, and that's why we have around 50 plus life sciences customers are these. So like, I'll not talk about each of these, but something like say material expiry or order prioritization, right? So you will see that there are supply chain and solutions that are available in the market which say that we can make your demand forecasting better, we can make your inventory better, we can make your production plan better. What the approach our company takes is that we have to make the entire supply chain better, because if you are improving one link of the chain, then again the chain is as weak as the weakest link that you have, right? So eventually, to make the entire supply chain better, the entire supply chain should be concurrent, as we call. Concurrent means that whenever there is a change either in demand or supply or capacity, it should immediately reflect to the planner so that he can take corrective actions. So what I was telling you in beginning, that paradigm is changing. It is not about accuracy anymore. It is about how you can deal with uncertainties. So the way we deal with uncertainties, or way our customer deal with uncertainties, is something called as scenario planning, scenario modeling. So you create a digital twin of your supply chain as an organization. Suppose you are in a business of generics or branded generics. So you will create an entire end-to-end twin of your organization. Whenever there is a change, suppose there is a disruption, suddenly you get a demand influx because of some disease that is prevailing in the market, or one of your supplier goes out because of some restriction on the trade. Both sides of the supply chain, you can model these, we can come out with the answers, because the solution lies in not in a better demand forecasting algorithm or not in a better AI ML algorithm, although they are a part which will improve your supply chain. But the solution lies in how many simulations you can make, how many scenarios you can make, and how fast you can respond to the market. That's our philosophy. And along with that, we create a supply chain for specifically for pharma companies with these out-of-the-box capabilities, so that you are not reinventing the wheel. You have these capabilities out of the box, and when you set up your supply chain, all of these capabilities are working in tandem to produce the right result for you. This is just a sample list of the customers we have. We have actually a couple of them in this event today. I was pleasantly surprised. I think Gilead is there, and there are some others as well. And you can see there are 2 customers we already have in India, Dr. Reddy's and Lupin. Because India is a different market, so I can show you many customers who are outside India, but the questions that comes from Indian customer is, okay, how do I deal with the complexities of the Indian market? And I admit that Indian supply chain are extremely complex, because what we have seen in India, and I'm not restricting myself to pharma, what we have seen in India is the supply chain teams are very capable, but they like to work with very elementary tools, because traditionally we have a mentality, okay, we will do some jugaad and make it running for some more time. But now I think that is changing, because it is becoming incredibly complex to manage that. And that's why some of the companies are talking to us, and some are already a customer. Happy to share more details on this. In fact, Dr. Reddy's came and presented in one of the public forums. So we have a recording of that session where they're explaining what benefits they have got on OTIF and inventory and other metrics that they have are measuring after implementing us. And one more thing that you need to see is that we are not like servicing only a particular threshold of clients. So we have companies who are $200 million turnover. We have companies who are $20 billion plus, Merck, Pfizer of the world. But all of them want to become better, because small companies are growing more. They have a niche, all those things. Actually, one of the companies here in this list faced a peculiar problem during COVID. And it's an interesting story, because they are into this life-threatening drugs. So they manufacture oncology medicines, and they were able to make sure that the right medicine is placed at the right warehouse to be supplied to the people who are in need, just because they were able to plan more efficiently. So sometimes not only dollars, you save lives also with right amount of planning. So I mean, one question that everyone asks in Indian context is that, have you worked with SAP as a ERP? So just put that logo so that you know that we coexist, because every solution has a space. So we work closely with SAP, which is the best ERP available in the market. We are best from the supply chain planning side, and the solution coexists to give you the best of the both of the worlds, which is execution and planning. And this is my last slide. Just wanted to show that just not believe what I am saying. Gartner, which is very reputed analyst, they have placed us highest in terms of ability to execute and completeness of vision in this year's Gartner quadrant. This is our 9th year in that quadrant, which is desirable, which is top right. But this year, one thing has changed. For the first time, Gartner has given a clear first rank in ability to execute and completeness of vision to one single vendor. So we'll love to share more. I'll not extend my session more, because we are already running late, and my colleague Kalpajit was just there. He shared some things. But happy to engage with you. Please connect with us. I'm there. Kalai is there, my colleague, and Kalpajit is there. We have a booth outside. Drop your card. We will love to connect with you, share with you what we have done for the pharmaceutical clients in India as well as outside India. Thank you so much.